Hello and welcome to the Georgian Church of St Mary in Stapleford, Leicestershire. No, not Stapleford, it's Stapleford. Now I've had my hands slapped a few times, so I double checked on the pronunciation of the place, and it's Stapleford. It has a three-stage perpendicular tower, slim and elegant, battlemented and pinnacled. The manor changed hands several times until it came to Robert Sherard in 1402, where it remained in the family for nearly 500 years. Entry to the church is through the west door, above which is a carving of a peacock's tail, part of the Harborough family crest. This church exterior is of smooth limestone ashlar, very fine. This church hides amid the woods, and like something out of Hansel and Gretel, it survives, apparently untouched since it was built for the clerical Robert Sherard, 4th Earl of Harborough, in 1783. Surrounding the outside walls are heraldic shields of the families allied by marriage to the Sherards by the renowned architect George Richardson, the same patron and architect who created Tye Church in Rutland, which, if you want to check my site, I've already visited. The church is now redundant. It's a very pretty Georgian Gothic style, its stone contriving the same pink and white shades as the blossom that doubtlessly surrounds it during spring. You enter the church with this interior, a lobby under the tower with a pretty little plaster vault. The interior is all of a single piece with light oak pews set in collegiate fashion, as in Tye, facing each other across the aisle. All the woodwork is panelled with a frieze of tiny black Gothic arches. The delight of the church lies in the confidence of its plasterwork, a patchwork of OGs round the walls and ribs forming lozenges on the ceiling. This brass figure on the floor is to Geoffrey Sherard, who died in 1490. The figures are 3 feet long, and there are 14 small kneeling figures of their children. The reredos is of different marbles and Derbyshire Blue John and was made by Richard Brown of Derby. All of the woodwork is simple, with only slight Gothic touches and very good workmanship. At the east end, the church unbends a little, rising to the sanctuary and the flanking Sherard tombs. On the right of the sanctuary is the monument to the first Lord Sherard, who died in 1640. It is a late example of a tomb chest with recumbent effigies. They lie in elaborate costumes, with their 8 children surrounding them in prayer. Pevsner said, "Fully good enough for Westminster Abbey." Around their parents are these small figures of their children, 8 who are alive, kneeling on the borders of the slab, and 3 sad, recumbent, dead infants. The detail on this monument is absolutely stunning. A ram lies at the feet of William and a greyhound lies at the feet of Abigail. This monument predates the present church and would have come from the previous church in the village. Opposite the Sherard tomb is Risebroug's monument to the first Earl of Harborough, who died in 1732. John Michael Rysbrack was a Flemish sculptor, exceptionally talented. In Westminster Abbey there are monuments carved by him to Isaac Newton, Earl Stanhope, John Milton, Ben Jonson, Admiral Vernon and Inigo Jones. The Earl is dressed in a Roman toga. His wife, Mary, sits at his side, holding a small boy in her lap. They were married in 1696, but Mary died 7 years later, shortly after giving birth to her son. He lies like a recumbent Roman senator at a banquet. He is pointing to his wife, who appears to be covering their child in a blanket. The parson, often the Earl himself, preached from the family pew in the West Gallery, with its own private fireplace. Here is the private gallery for the Earl of Harborough and his family. Thank you for watching this film of the Church of St Mary Magdalene at Stapleford in Leicestershire.